Well, it's an exciting year for Kean University athletics with a lot of big changes and new additions this season. Joining me now to talk about what we can expect in the months ahead is the school's director of athletics and my good friend Kelly Williams. Kelly, great to see you again. I know this is an exciting time for you in the program. How are you?
I'm doing well. Great to be here. Great seeing you, Mike.
Always great having you on the show. So Kean University may be a D3 school, but when you're on the campus, it's got, I really have to say, it's got a D1 feel. And things just seem to be getting better and better for the athletics program. As the 2025 fall season wraps up, how exciting have things been so far for you guys?
It's been a nonstop happy roller coaster. We've been able to add teams this fall, and we've been able to see some success with several of our sports. And then, more importantly, our students are finding ways to grow and be exposed to different exciting opportunities from internships and just being in the community. So we've really taken a well-rounded approach to make sure that our students get a an experience that's different. And obviously, with our beautiful campus and what we do behind the scenes, it's exciting across the board when people talk about Kean athletics.
So excited to hear that. Now, I went last year, but I wasn't able to make it this year. Can you give me a recap of the homecoming event this year? Anything you did differently this time around?
Well, homecoming was really an exciting time. Obviously, October 5th was when we had our homecoming, and it was a combination of just great weather, great competitive sports, and really the highlight was that we this was the year that we brought back our Hall of Fame individuals and our inductees. So for them to come back on campus and for them to be recognized across the board for their commitment to Kean athletics, that was pretty much the cherry on top as it relates to this year's homecoming. And obviously, our teams competed and had a great opportunity. We got some wins that weekend. So I think everyone walked out of that homecoming weekend with a smile. And that's really what it's about, that there's an exciting energy surrounding Kean athletics, and we're looking forward to having our alums and our former teams come back on campus.
Now the football team is at 3-6 right now with one game left against Rowan. Now 3-6 might sound a little rough, but the momentum is in their favor lately. They've won their last two games, and that's got to be a good feeling for them, knowing that they've secured a better record than last year. Was there more of a positive vibe with the football team this year?
No, absolutely, and Coach Dan Garrett and his staff, they've done an excellent job. And one of the things with the football team, and what I'm encouraged about, is that this is a very young team. So across the board, they had over 40 freshmen that made up this team, this year's team. So for me, and seeing the growth and seeing them climb towards wins at the end of the season is probably pretty much right on par with having so many young athletes making that transition from high school to college. And with our football team, it's really about patience and progress. And obviously, the patience is that they were a young team, and now the progress is seeing that they've been successful, obviously on a two-game winning streak, and really just playing better. And they fought through a lot of injuries as well early in the year with that transition from high school to college, and the way how our schedule was structured. So it's really rewarding to see that they are making progress, and it's extremely confident that they're going to be moving in the right direction in the near future.
And as cliche as it sounds, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So,
Absolutely.
time will tell. Now, women's basketball has a new head coach in Tasha Pointer, who's been on the show and has such a fitting name for a basketball coach in Pointer. She spent a good amount of time at Rutgers University under Vivian Stringer. The basketball season has just begun. Talk about what Pointer brings to the program.
We're excited to have Tasha here, and the first thing that she brings is instant credibility to our program. She puts a national mark when she starts to get out and recruiting this spring. So for her to be part of our Kean athletics family from a coaching point of view, I think the young ladies are going to get so much from her experiences and what she's been able to do as a player at Rutgers, and what she's been able to do as a head coach. But more importantly, she really knows how to connect with the young ladies off the court, being able to motivate them, empower them. So those are certain qualities that she is going to be able to bring to the table. And while we're so excited to have her energy around, and obviously being a disciple of Steve Vivian Stringer, that goes a long way, especially out in the recruiting world. And she didn't get the job until probably like August, so she wasn't able to recruit the way how she probably would have liked. But that's the exciting part in regards to that turn. And as I mentioned it with football, same thing with Tasha, just being patient this year as the young ladies get a chance to understand her system, and she gets a chance to understand the young ladies' skill sets. And she's a point guard, so she's going to figure it out, what you all great point guards do. And I'm glad that we have her on our team running on the show for our young ladies.
Fantastic. Now, men's and women's wrestling was added to the program this year. And this marks the first time in about 30 years that the university has had any kind of wrestling program. Kean graduate Chris DeSanto will oversee both teams. He was on the show before as well. Now, how important are these additions to the school, especially with women's sports growing so much over the last few years?
Wow. Listen, wrestling in the state of New Jersey is probably one of the gems of New Jersey from a sports component. You see so many competitive wrestlers from the men's side and the women's side, and now for Kean University to have that on the collegiate level, we're probably one of only 4 or 5 teams in the state that offer that, and so we're going to be a hotbed and for recruiting these talented individuals, men and women, that are surrounding and that are involved with wrestling. And obviously, with our women's wrestling, and Chris is, as you said, as an alum, and he's very, very passionate. And being able to introduce women's wrestling to our Kean athletics portfolio, puts us once again in a different market of diversifying what we offer within our athletics department, which also gets us a bigger marketing footprint across the country now that we're offering that. And it, more importantly, it gives also the young ladies an opportunity to showcase how special, how talented, and how gifted they are. And that's what we're excited about, that Kean is offering that for our women wrestlers here.
Fantastic. Now, looking way ahead, you also have a women's flag football program, which is new this year. How did the idea for a flag football program come about? And does it seem like people are looking forward to the idea?
Flag football is a movement, and I didn't realize it until last year. We took a visit, myself, President Recollet, and several of my admin staff. We took a visit up to the NFL office, and I had an opportunity to spend some time with Troy Vincent of the NFL, and he and I go, way back from our days in the from the Trenton area and growing up together. And he said, "Hey, listen, Kelly, I would really love to have Kean as part of women's flag football." And once again, we've heard about it, but we didn't really fully take a deep dive until we had that meeting at the NFL office. And once we had that meeting and we sat down and we talked and we started assessing everything and looking at the growth as it relates to high school schools that are offering that, we just felt that this was the time and this was the place to expand once again our opportunities for our women that are interested in following their passion in flag football. So it was definitely the NFL experience when we had that visit last year. And when we talk about the level of excitement, oh my goodness, it is really a movement. It's really unmatched. We had the opportunity to experience an NFL event in Cleveland and in June, and it was over 3,000 young men and young women running around playing flag football. And when we had our first um, interest meeting, we had over 40 young ladies that were interested in joining flag football. And what I'm also seeing is that there's multiple sports teams or individuals on other sports that have a passion for playing flag football. So I'm excited that we are one of the few schools, and actually we were the first state institution to bring in flag football, and our young ladies are running around this campus excited. Can't wait for the season to begin, and it really does my heart good to see that.
Now, piggybacking off of that, Mandrell Hansford will be coaching the flag football team in the spring. Can you talk a little about his background?
Sure. Mandrell is a proven winner. He's been within our department for the last 3 to 4 years, assisting as a athletic academic advisor, making sure that our students are that are matriculating towards graduation. But he also has extremely a passion for coaching, and he did that pretty much his whole career and throughout Pop Warners and throughout middle school and high school, and obviously even with his family. His son is a scholarship player, playing football at this current moment. So he understands the game. He's an excellent communicator. He's a motivator, and more importantly, he's a winner, and he understands what our expectations are for this program. And the reason why he's such a great fit for this, as we talk, and I use the word patience a lot in this interview, is that we're starting from square one with this. So we're starting from the ground. So as a result of that, we need to have someone that understands um, the steps that are going to take place to be successful, and have the patience and have the ability to communicate, motivate these young ladies. And we're moving in a great direction, and he's the perfect person to get us to where we need to be.
Great to hear. And Kelly, final question. What's been your favorite part about leading the Kean Athletics program so far?
Wow. Mike, I would say the favorite part is coming in every day, getting an opportunity to spend some time with these students, and these student athletes, watching them grow, not just on the field, but off the field, being able to see them smile when they have their success, and being able to assist them through some of their challenging days. So that has probably been the most rewarding part. And that's my why every day of coming in here. I walk in here every day just knowing that I'm one of 400 people that has this position as vice president of athletics and recreation, and things to that extent. So I don't take it for granted. I tell the students every time that I see them how much I appreciate them, and but that's my why. They're the reason why I get up and come in here and have the long hours. I just want their student athlete experience to be the best that it possibly can up under my watch, and that's what I really enjoy.
I think the word that stands out there is rewarding, knowing that you have such an impact over so many young student athletes. Kean Athletics Director Kelly Williams, thanks so much for coming on, and best of luck the rest of the year, my friend.
Thank you, Mike. This is always a pleasure. Good luck.
Always a pleasure. Thank you
Yes.
so much.